The little girl looked up at the star-studded sky with dreamy eyes. Every 100 years, a train made of clouds appears in the night sky, carrying those with dreams too big for the earth. 12-year-old Hana had always believed dreams were just dreams, until the night she saw a glowing silver track stretch across the stars, and a ghostly steam train calling her name. Locomotive Sparkles, would you dare board a train that could take you anywhere, if it meant risking everything you know? Join Hana on an unforgettable journey where every stop is a magical world, and where finding your true wish means discovering your true self. Milky Way. The little girl looked up at the star-studded sky with dreamy eyes. Every night she would come to the rooftop, wrap her knees to her chest and gaze up at the twinkling expanse above her. Since the accident last winter, Hana hadn't spoken a word. The bustling city, her school, her friends and her own house had all become quiet places. And now the silence stretched even to the night sky, which used to be filled with the laughter of her parents. Ever since the day of the accident, Hana had been afraid of speaking. Any sound she tried to make emerged as a weak whisper. But despite the pain in her heart and the fear in her throat, Hana never gave up hope. Every night before going to bed, she would make a wish upon the stars, hoping that one day her voice would return. Tonight, however, something felt different. The stars shimmered unusually bright and a soft rumble filled the air, like a distant train. But there weren't any train tracks in the sky. Then right before her very eyes, a grand silver steam engine materialized out of thin air. The engine was made entirely of clouds and glowed with a gentle, inviting light. As if beckoning her, the door of the carriage opened with a soft hiss and a melodious voice echoed through the mist. All aboard the cloud train, all aboard the cloud train. If your heart still dreams, board the cloud train. Trembling with awe and hope, Hana stood up. Without hesitation, she stepped inside the train. The interior of the cloud train shimmered with an ethereal glow. The seats seemed to float gently and the walls rippled like silk. Soft music echoed through the carriage, setting a peaceful tone. Other passengers sat quietly, each seemingly absorbed in their thoughts. There was a fox wearing a scholar's long robe, a girl with wings made of shimmering stardust and a young boy carrying an ornately carved clock with no hands. Suddenly, a tall figure wearing a black suit and a mask made of glass approached. He held a silver whistle that matched the train's gleaming exterior. With a graceful bow, he addressed Hana. "Welcome, dreamer. My name is Conductor Stella Nova. I am honored to guide you on your journey tonight." Hana managed a small smile, her heart pounding with anticipation and a touch of nervousness. As the conductor continued speaking, his voice resonated with an otherworldly charm. "Each stop on our journey will present you with a unique trial, a chance to confront the fragments of your forgotten dreams. Only when you find them and piece them back together can you truly unlock the power within you." Before Hana could respond, the conductor raised his whistle to his lips and blew softly. The air grew still and a wave of drowsiness washed over her. The last thing she remembered was the soft lullaby-like tune echoing in her ears as she drifted into dreamless sleep. When Hana awoke, she found herself in a place unlike any she had ever seen. They had arrived at their first destination. A floating island suspended amidst a sea of clouds. Lush green grass carpeted the island, dotted with glowing flora that shimmered in hues of blue and gold. Sparkling rivers meandered through the landscape and tiny houses nestled among the vibrant plants. Delicate waterfalls cascaded from rocky cliffs, their waters shimmering like liquid diamonds. In the distance, mountains rose majestically, their peaks adorned with sparkling snow. But what truly captivated Hana's attention were the foxes. They stood upright, dressed in colorful kimonos that flowed behind them like ribbons in the gentle breeze. Some sat meditating peacefully, while others engaged in lively conversations. Their faces radiated wisdom and tranquility. The foxes regarded Hana with curiosity, their gaze gentle and welcoming. One of the foxes, adorned with a white kimono and an orange sash, stepped forward. His eyes, a striking shade of emerald green, held a warmth that put Hana at ease. "Welcome to the Garden of Talking Foxes," the fox elder greeted her. "We have been expecting you, child of the stars." Thank you," Hana replied, feeling a bit overwhelmed by the sudden appearance and their cryptic words. The fox elder smiled knowingly. "Here in our realm, words are seeds," he began, his voice a soothing melody. "Every word carries the power to nurture and growth. Even silence can be a seed, though it takes a keen ear to hear its whispers. He gestured to the surrounding garden, where the plants seemed to pulse with life. In this world, your heart's desires bloom into reality. Speak your dreams, and we shall witness them blossom before our eyes. But Hana couldn't speak. She tried to form words, but only a faint breath escaped her lips. Panic surged through her as she realized she couldn't utter a sound. I'm sorry, she whispered, her voice failing her. The fox elder's expression softened with understanding. It is all right, he said gently. Not all seeds need to be spoken to grow. Sometimes they simply need to be planted. He motioned for her to follow him deeper into the garden. Show us the seed you wish to plant, child of the stars. Hana hesitated, unsure what to do. Then an idea struck her. Closing her eyes, she reached out a hand and gently touched the ground. As her fingers made contact with the soil, a surge of warmth coursed through her. Opening her eyes, she gasped in surprise as golden flowers burst forth from the earth beneath her touch. The petals shimmered with an otherworldly glow, bathing the surroundings in a warm, inviting light. The other passengers, who had been observing silently, now stepped forward, their eyes filled with wonder and intrigue. Hana realized that even without words, her intentions could still take root and flourish. Her presence itself had the power to bring beauty and growth to the world around her. A gentle breeze rustled through the leaves, carrying the sweet melodies of unseen songbirds. As the music swelled, the paths ahead became clearer, guiding them toward the next leg of their journey. The passengers exchanged glances, their faces etched with anticipation. It was time to move forward, to face the next trial and unravel more fragments of their forgotten dreams. Their next stop was an extraordinary place where music defined the very essence of reality. Rivers flowed with musical notes and trees hummed harmonious tunes. Graceful swans glided on crystal-clear ponds, leaving trails of sparkling melodies in their wake. As Hana and the other passengers strolled through this enchanting realm, they were captivated by the symphony of sounds that surrounded them. Suddenly, a lost flute made of pure white bone floated past Hana. Intrigued, she reached out and caught it. The moment her fingers brushed against the flute, a surge of energy coursed through her. Startled, she stumbled backward, dropping the flute. As it fell, the winds around them shifted, parting to reveal a hidden path that spiraled majestically across the sky. The passengers gasped in awe, their eyes wide with wonder. Stepping forward, Hana once again felt the pull of the flute. Taking a deep breath, she raised it to her lips and played a single note. The sound resonated within her, connecting her to the very essence of the music-filled world. As she continued playing, the melody flowed effortlessly from her, carrying with it a mix of emotions she had long forgotten. Notes of joy and sorrow, triumph and loss intertwined, creating a symphony of sound that echoed through the musical landscape. The other passengers leaned closer, their faces etched with admiration and a touch of envy. Hana's ability to channel her emotions into music astounded them. She had discovered a gift she never knew she possessed. As the music reached its crescendo, the path in the sky grew brighter, beckoning them forward. It was time to move on, to carry the harmony they had found within themselves to the next leg of their journey. Their final stop was a place of profound stillness, a stark contrast to the previous musical realm. Floating above this desolate landscape was a gigantic clock, its hands frozen in time, seemingly suspended in an eternal present. The passengers stepped off the cloud train, their earlier enthusiasm dampened by the oppressive silence. Conductor Stella Nova's voice, usually so vibrant, now echoed with a somber tone. This is the realm of forgotten dreams, a place where lost memories gather and time stands still, he explained. To return home, each of you must set the clock's hands to the hour of your true wish. As the passengers pondered this cryptic message, Hana noticed that the clock had no numbers, only an array of intricate carvings. Puzzled, she approached it cautiously. The conductor placed a hand on her shoulder. Only you, Hana, can set the clock's hands, he said, his voice filled with quiet urgency. Your journey's end depends on it. Taking a deep breath, Hana reached out to touch the clock's surface. As her fingertips made contact, a jolt of energy surged through her, causing her to stumble back. Memories flickered in her mind, fragmented images of laughter, joy and a deep sense of belonging. Suddenly, she understood what she had been missing all along. Without hesitation, she walked toward the clock and placed her hands on its surface. As she did, the carvings around her began to glow, forming numbers on the clock face. Time seemed to stand still as she aligned the hands with the hour of her true wish. The moment her fingers touched the final carving, a wave of energy erupted, enveloping the entire clock. Light streamed through the hands, illuminating the frozen gears and pendulums within. With a gentle click, the hands locked into place, and the world around Hana burst into a kaleidoscope of colors. The conductor watched with a mixture of pride and relief as Hana completed her task. As quickly as it began, the light show ended, leaving the passengers blinking in the sudden darkness. A moment of silence hung heavy in the air before the conductor broke into a wide smile. "Well done, Hana," he exclaimed, his voice echoing with joy. "You have unlocked the first part of your journey. The cloud train awaits your return." Just as suddenly as it had appeared, the cloud train vanished, leaving Hana and the other passengers in the silent realm of forgotten dreams. But Hana's adventure was far from over. She had taken the first step toward reclaiming her lost voice and reconnecting with the fragments of her dreams. And as the stars twinkled above her, she knew that with each passing moment, her voice grew stronger, carrying with it the echoes of her journey. When Hana awoke, she found herself back on her rooftop, bathed in the soft light of dawn. The morning mist swirled around her, shrouding the city in an ethereal glow. The cloud train was nowhere to be seen, nor any sign that the fantastical journey had ever taken place. But something within Hana had shifted. As her mother's voice called out to her from the kitchen, Hana smiled and responded. For the first time in months, her voice was still weak, but it carried the strength of every dream she had reclaimed. Looking up at the vast canvas of the morning sky, she could have sworn she saw a wisp of cloud in the shape of a train engine disappearing into the rising sun.